welcome back to Cricket for Americans. Nick here.
Gabe, the Night Watchman.
And Gabe and I are here for another episode of Cricket Tuesday. And, we're wearing our baggy greens here today. We, a little more of a somber mood, not going to lie, to pay respect, not to pretend, that we're super more sad than we really are, this kind of stuff, but to pay respect to the legend of Shane Warne. And you're a cricket fan, you know that Shane Warne recently passed away just a few days back. And just to start off, Gabe, I saw an article that was less than a day ago saying that it was natural causes. It was a congenital thing. There was no foul play. There was no COVID. So that's good in its own way that he went on his own terms, so to speak. But Shane Warne, if you don't know cricket, if you don't know Shane Warne, this guy literally is a legend. This guy's second most test wickets of all time. This guy, we've had so many comments. I've had so many comments on Instagram. I'm sure you've had so many on Twitter in the comment section about how this guy, not single-handedly, but one was the main guys that brought the flipper, the googly, right? The whole spin. Yeah, right? Being a dangerous factor, like literally bring it into existence before it went extinct. And I got a lot of thoughts about Shane Warne, and we're going to react to a video about his top 5 wickets. They may not be the top 5 wickets because you know more of the history, you know more of the background. But let me say this before you share your opening thoughts. Someone like a Shane Warne passing away, even we know the kind of legend this guy was, and we're always talking about how we're new to cricket. We don't understand this or that. We understand what this guy meant to the game, and especially for Australia fans, but for fans all around the world. And I was talking to Dr. Jihan, who's a huge Australia fan, via email, and I was saying, like, I'm not affected by it as much as someone like you, Jihan, as an Australia fan, as someone who's been a cricket fan their whole life. But it reminds me of how I felt when Kobe Bryant passed away. I'm a huge Lakers fan, huge Kobe Bryant fan. You can say what you want about personal life issues, this or that. I grew up as a kid a Lakers fan, and Kobe was my guy. Him and Shaq were an amazing duo, and then it was the Kobe show. And when he passed away, and you add on top of that his daughter and his family he left behind, and the fact that they were going to a basketball event because he wanted to support her with her dreams, that really, really affected me. And I don't really get affected by celebrities' death because I don't know these people. And I didn't know Kobe Bryant. But that one really hit me. That one caused me to cry. That one caused me to hurt for several days because of what he meant to me as an athlete, what he meant to me as a filmmaker. The guy won an Oscar for crying out loud. And so for me, that's probably the best comparison for anyone that has been a cricket fan, as long as I've been a Lakers fan and a Kobe Bryant fan. And it's just, there's nothing good about it, right? There's nothing good about it whatsoever. The only good thing about it is they played out their careers before they passed away.
Yeah, for sure. Here's the thing. I think that Kobe Bryant is a really good example because if we're talking about, the greatest of all time, Kobe's always in the argument, right? Kobe, MJ, LeBron. Right. Honestly, unfortunately, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, another great Laker, is no longer in the conversation. That's just being real. You know what I mean? It's pretty much LeBron, yeah, Kobe, and MJ. And when you're just known, you know what I'm saying, to be such like on the Mount Rushmore of a sport, it's definitely going to affect some people. So I think that was a great comparison there. I also think that just recently, man, since COVID has really become an issue the last 2 years, bro, think about all the people that we've had gone just in this last year. Meatloaf went passed, right? Bob Saget recently. I grew up with
Full House.
Right. There's another cricketing legend that recently passed away. I can't remember who it was. But the point is, I think it also makes us think about I think it makes us think about our own mortality. You know what I'm saying, Nick? And what our own legacy is going to be. And luckily, Kobe left an unbelievable legacy. Shane Warne, long after he finished taking scalps, right? taking wickets, the guy was a broadcaster. The guy was an announcer. We at least got to hear him and
Right.
his fun nature and his sledging, even as an announcer. You know what I mean? Like we got to understand and know that Shane Warne. Now we've watched plenty of clips of him, obviously, but to your point, it's not going to hit us the way it's going to hit Australian fans like Jihan. Also send me an email. But I think it hits the whole cricketing world simply because, just think about it, man. He's not the only legend that's gone, and he won't be the last. You know what I mean? Like mortality. You just start thinking about that and how the game passes you by, and hopefully you've left a long enough legacy to just kind of live it in immortality, if that makes sense. But just in the game.
Well, he was so young. I mean, 52 years old, right? So young and unfortunate. Yeah, 52 and a half years. I mean, if you don't know, again, I'm a huge numbers guy, but if you don't know his numbers, let me just remind some people the numbers here. 708 test wickets. He had an average of 25.4. This guy, 293 ODI wickets, almost an identical average in ODI and test, which is just crazy to me, 25.73. Economy rate of 265 in test, for crying out loud. This guy's got 37 fifers, 10 10fers in test. Second most all-time in test, for crying out loud. This guy was a competitor. This guy was a savage. This guy was, okay, you got past everyone else. Maybe you're not getting past Shane Warne. And talking about Jihan, I want to highlight an email that he sent me and you and just read a few highlights of it. And this is a guy, again, who's really hurt, like so many fans are, about Shane Warne. Understand? He says, I'm absolutely gutted and devastated hearing about the news. And I hope Jihan doesn't mind me sharing some of this email. He says, listen to him commentate. It felt like he was your best friend. So relatable. And he starts talking about some of his favorite moments that he can remember. He's like, some of the ones that sprang to mind instantly was when they beat the Great West Indies side in Caribbean in 1995. It was a change of the guard in terms. The 1999 World Cup, which they won when they were looking like South Africa were on their way of knocking them out in the semifinals. They were not much of a chance because they were only defending 213. But he amazed everyone the way he turned the game and how he turned the game against Pakistan in the final. The 2005 Ashes, where England won, but he took 40 wickets, his best ever. He was the first to captain the Rajasthan Royals in the IPL, took a team that no one believed in to the championship the very first inaugural season. And this guy just wins and wins and won and won. And I'm not sure how you feel, but I'm assuming you're feeling similar. When we were getting into reacting to videos in cricket and we're watching the best wickets and we're watching the best moments, we saw the guy with the bright blonde hair just killing people left and right with a big smile on his face, just so happy about it. You had no chance. They had no idea where that was going to turn, and they had no idea where that was going to come off the pitch. And we saw balls literally go like 2 or 3 feet after it hit off the ground. We recognize, okay, it was him, it was Brett Lee, right? These guys are savages. Who are these guys? And lo and behold, 2 of the greats. But Shane Warne, it never gets old to watch one of his videos. So I'm excited we're going to react to one of his today. But before we do, I want you guys to like and subscribe, obviously. We really appreciate that. But more importantly, I want you to comment below and let us know your favorite moments about Shane Warne. Whether it's the funny moments or the savage moments or the beast mode moments, all those kind of stuff, share those below. I want to learn. I want to know about it. And we really hope that you guys like this reaction. But, nothing but respect to the flipper, right, Gabe?
You know what my favorite Shane Warne stat is? 700 plus wickets, right? 102 ducks, daddy. Just don't waste my time. Don't waste my time. You know what I mean, dude? I love it. 102 ducks, baby. Bye. But
no chance.
Again, he's one of my favorite Australian bowlers, obviously. Not just because of his numbers, but hearing him broadcast, he still had that mentality of that little bit of sledging and that like us versus them. Like it's bowlers versus batsmen. I forgot who he was clowning with. It might have been like Brian Lara or something like that. He's like, you ever met a batsman you didn't like? Not unless he was a bowler. You know what I mean? Like that was his attitude. You know what I'm saying? Like even your teammates, not unless he was a bowler. You know what I mean? Dude, like that was his attitude, and I loved it because it is. You know what I mean? You gotta have that mentality of your bowler. I'm taking scouts, man. Whatever. You know what I mean? And you just love that competitiveness, that fierceness amongst us, man. I'm ready to jump into this video and check it out, brother.
I'm ready to. I mean, the guy, like you said, he's larger than life, and I have not confirmed this stat, but in the live stream I was doing with the Women's World Cup, someone had mentioned that he had 300 some odd test wickets at home, which means he got more than half of his wickets away, right? And we were having that conversation. I'm like, I don't care how you get 500 wickets, you get 500 wickets. But supposedly, unconfirmed, he had more away than in Australia. I mean, that's just, come on. And I get it. Australia is a Pacers track, right? You think Shane Warne cares where he's bowling at for crying out loud? He'll get your wicket on the moon for crying out loud. He'll make that ball turn. But, yeah, you're right. Let's go ahead and jump into this and see. And I think I see your man Buckner right there.
Oh, Buckner. But you know what the funny part's gonna be? Without watching this video, I already know he's gonna have a massive appeal because Buckner probably missed that wicket. Like, are you serious?
He's gonna make him do. Oh wow, the Buckner drive by. All right, here we go.
Round his legs. That one's turned up the hill.
Wow.
He says turned up the hill.
The bowlers follow through, but it's the end of Michael Atherton in this second innings. That'll end the chat.
Oh, that's Australia fan against England.
Talk about action on the ball.
There's one of those 708.
Spinning the ball up the hill.
Dude, that's
oh my god!
And just that is
I know, and it still hit the middle stump.
When that happens, he goes right.
You can't make it up. Oh,
going for the sweep.
Look at that! It's moving in the air and then it turns on a dime. I can't make my car turn like that, man.
That is beautiful.
Here's some ODI action. Oh, this is that match. This is what Gio was talking about.
Look at the batsman. He's like,
look at the fire. Yes, because he knows it'll fade a low score.
Exactly what the Australians needed.
48 runs in 12 overs in ODI. Look at this guy.
Wow.
Boom.
He has no chance.
Wow.
We thought this wicket might turn.
He thought he had that defended pretty well.
That's not even fair.
No, that's not fair at all. Oh.
Is that my boy Brian Lara? Oh.
Superb control. Powell just lunging forward.
I believe so.
Spun enough to take leg stump.
And when a spinner blows up your stumps, you're just mad. I was expecting LBWs though, Nick, but he's just taking stumps here.
Dude, this guy, he finds the wicket. He finds it. Look at. Oh,
wow.
he looks silly.
That's not Brian,
right? He's gonna make you look silly.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's Brian Lara.
He's too tall.
Oh, it is Lara. He did say it.
Hey, Lara.
The red line shows you where
look at that.
You can't make it up.
Got him. That's well bowled, Shane Warne. What a wicket that is. He's really.
I like how the batsman just turned around and was like, whatever, dude.
Just before lunch.
I mean, they know it's going to happen, right?
He's played so well, Chandapur. He'll be so disappointed.
They know it's going to happen. Like, please let me get at least 10, 20 runs or something, please.
Wow.
Well, he really does have a bogey with his test century. He was playing well enough to get a test century today.
Dude, look how long he waited on that. You know what? I'm going to tell you, I think I would be running up the crease on him to attack him. I honestly would. Because they hang in the air forever.
Before it turns on you. You got to turn it into a full toss because you have no chance when it turns.
Let us know in the comment. That's just dumb.
He thought there was no chance that was getting to the stumps.
Put a big smile on Ian Healy's face as well as his own.
Number 1. Wow. Tall order.
Test cricket in England for Shane Warne. And he's done it.
Oh, man.
He started off with the most.
Did my eyes see what they just saw?
Dude, the turn on that was ridiculous.
Gary has absolutely no idea what has happened to it.
I mean, the bite, it's so sharp.
He asked Kenny Palmer on the way out. Kenny Palmer just gave him a raised eyebrow and a little nod. And that's all he needed.
Oh my gosh.
Look at that. It's like a cue ball for the love of Pete.
That went to the off stump.
You can't make it up. Wow.
Dude, I'd want to check the ball. I'd want to check it for like one of those things for the cartoons, you know?
Just show me the ball.
Changing the field. Look at that ball.
Oh my gosh.
And a bonus. Oh, he gave us a bonus.
Well, that's an absolute.
Sorry, Zimbabwe.
Wow.
Sorry, Zimbabwe.
Quite the Mike Gadding.
All right, let me say this, Gabe. Thank goodness for the bails, because the umpires would have no idea if it hit the stumps or not, because these guys are using their entire body. It's almost like they're saying, I'd rather get LBW than you hit those stumps on me. I'd rather you hit my body than the stumps, because more than likely the way you hit the ground, it's not going to be in line, baby. It's the best defense, if that makes any sense. And luckily for the umpires, they had that stumps, because how many of those did we see that went behind them? It was a T20. It would have been a wide for. Oh wait, it hit the stumps. Never mind. That's what I meant to do.
Right.
It's absolutely a thing of beauty. How do you defend it? I think you're right. You run up that track. Is there a limit how far you can go up that track? I'm starting halfway. Full toss it, baby.
I'm coming to crush it. I'm coming to crush it, bro. Honestly. Let us know how dumb, right? People are gonna crush this in the comments, like, oh yeah, he's gonna see you charging up the crease on him, and then he's just gonna, to be like whatever. I doubt he's got a Yorker, but I'm sure.
How about that, like this, if he goes over my head.
I think that DRS might have cost Shane Warne. I would venture to guess anywhere between 100, maybe 200 wickets, bro.
You mean not having DRS?
Oh no. DRS.
It's a relatively new thing.
No, but think about it, right? A lot of times when you see DRS, Nick, and I argue all the time, well, that could have got it. Oh no, partial the ball, whatever. This is why Shane Warne completely throws DRS out the question. Because to your point, when it comes to LBW with Shane Warne, you could say, oh no, that was going to be pitching outside. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. I would make an argument. If I'm a spinner, I'm making an argument. Look, I'm not Shane Warne. Listen, there's some good spinners right now. I'm thinking about guys like, oh man, Axar Patel. What's another really good spinner in the world? I mean, Rashid Khan, guys, but nobody has a turn like this. But bro, if I'm a spinner, I can make the argument. Oh no, that was gonna turn. That was gonna turn. You know what I mean? I don't want to hear that DRS projection probability. They probably couldn't figure out. DRS couldn't probably figure out what the trajectories of his balls was. I guarantee you, man.
No, I just looked it up. DRS came out in 2008. He retired 2007. So he avoided the whole DRS thing. I was going to venture, if he's bowling right now, how many wickets would he have lost because of DRS? Absolutely, right? He would have lost quite a few, especially the LBWs. I mean, the ones that hit the stumps, there's no argument about it. Like the guy said for that last batter before the bonus, he's like, he just shook his head and gave him a nod. Like, you got me. Like, right. What are you going to do about that? If you're the coach, if you're the captain, if you're the manager, if you're the selection committee, you can't even get mad at the batter for that, because what are you going to do, for crying out loud? Besides move laterally way far back.
And to your point, you could see guys like, reaching way across with their knee pads or whatever, trying to defend.
That's what I would do. I'd lean back.
And guys would be like, oh, you know what? No. That was, and he could easily say, no, that was going to take the stumps. You know what I mean? LBW would probably have had a nightmare. DRS would have probably had a nightmare correctly reading a Shane Warne, man. But dude, that was such a crazy video. I was expecting LBWs, Nick. Not one. It's probably because he looked back and said, oh boy. Hold on. Here's my Shane Warne correction. Oh boy. It's Buckner back there today, boys. I'm just taking the scalps. I'm not taking a chance, because you know that Buckner didn't give him any of those easy ones. Buckner's like, and for once, I can't blame him, bro, because the ball that went behind his back, Nick, and still blew up the middle stump.
Thing of beauty.
Is it a video game? Is it a video game? You gotta be kidding me.
He's the king of spin. He's the king of the leg spin for a reason. This guy, I mean, I can't imagine. Okay, you're facing Australia in the 90s and the 2000s, and at some point you got McGraw. You got Shane Warne. You got Brett Lee, right? Australia fans, who am I leaving out? Because that's a murderer row right there. Those top three. That's your Glavin, Smoltz, and Maddox right there of the Braves of the 1990s. I mean, are you kidding me? Right? And then you got to be an opener for crying out loud. I mean, it's not. You have an opener against like a guy like a Brett Lee, but Shane Warne, he doesn't care what time of the game it is. He's going to take your wicket no matter what. This guy, again, I'm glad he was able to play his career. I was glad he was able to put everything on the field because he put everything on the field. This guy threw something like 40,000 balls in tests.
Wow.
And only gave up like a fraction of the runs, like 10,000 runs. Economy rate 265 in tests. How many times do we see spinners? And I get it's tests, but even in tests, some spinners get those economy rates of 4s or whatnot, right? This guy 265 his entire career. It's unfortunate. We celebrate the career. We want to know your thoughts. We appreciate you watching this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And with that being said, till next time.
Tip to the cat.